to promote the growth of Tigres in English through analysis, discussions, interviews, and more. Welcome to the Lautimes podcast. And we are back. Oh, and what a week to be back. What a week we're about to have. As Tigres fans, this is Lautimes, the only show on the planet talking about the finalists Tigres in English. I'm Dennis. I'm the producer and one of the hosts of the show. Thank you for joining us tonight. And as this episode is appropriately titled, For the Ninth, it's Liga MX final week, and our Tigres are in it. We're here to talk about it. We're here to talk about how we got there. Talk about Amazonas and World 7. So much to talk about tonight. And it's a big week, so everybody's here, basically. Everybody's here right now or is going to be here in the next few minutes. So please help me in welcoming all my friends here, starting with @Tigres_English down in Austin, our beloved Lou. How are you?
Doing great, Dennis.
We got Edgar up here in DFW, aka Double L Nation. How are you?
Doing good. It's a pleasure to be back with you guys. Excited. It's been a really good last week.
Yes, absolutely. And just joining us on the recording as soon as I clicked go live. Live from Monterrey @Tigres Takes, Alfred. Great to have you back, my friend. How are you? And you're muted. Look, what a great start.
Hey, I haven't been here so long, I already forgot how to do this. I couldn't be better, guys. So excited to be back with you guys. So excited to be talking about what's going to happen this week. Because you guys know what's going to happen this week, right?
Oh,
You know.
man.
You know.
Oh, man.
I know, but I'm not going to say it, Alfred.
Yeah.
I can feel it. And 46,000 fans at that stadium could feel it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm very excited to get yours and I don't know those takes on y'all's experience from Saturday night when we get there. We will be joined here in a little bit by I don't know though and AJ as well. So we'll have all six of us here at some point, which I think that's the first time that's happened that we will have all six of us. But like I said, it's a big week and we got to pull out all the stops. So real quick before I do all the housekeeping stuff, I need to show today's background to everybody, so that's going to require me taking everybody off the screen for 2 seconds. But please enjoy what AI generated for us today in 3, 2. There you go.
You're making me hungry, man. I want some trompo now.
Me too.
Oh, man. I'm always down for some trompo. And we have our first comment of the night, Threaker, who did say he's getting off work early today. Vamos por la novena. That's right. Thank you for joining us, Threaker.
What did you ask ChatGPT to create an AI Tigre version of Arnoldo or what?
Bro, if I really wanted to do that, I should have said, make sure the Tigre has a Calle Siete like bib or hat on. Yeah. Otherwise, it would have been completely spot on. Anywho, okay, real quick before we actually get going, everybody who's joining us live, thank you so much for joining us live. It's a big episode, so please help us get this out to more people by doing any of the following things: liking this video on YouTube, subscribing to us on YouTube if you haven't already, liking this video on Twitter, reposting it, sharing the link on YouTube, doing all the things. We want everybody to join us tonight live. We want the chat to be super live as well, so come join us in the chat. And if you're listening on podcast later, thank you for being here. If you haven't subscribed already, you should do that. Comment what you think about this episode if you're a Spotify listener, and don't forget to share with all the people that you know, all your fellow Tigres fans. Whew, okay, let's get going. We have lots to get to tonight. We got to talk about how we got to the final first before actually talking about the final. And as you guys know, the master of outlines, Edgar, has prepared another lovely outline for us tonight. So my friend, would you please kick us off with our first segment?
That's right. Tigres versus Cruz Azul recap before we get to the final. Guido Pizarro, in his first official full season at the head of Club Tigres, has achieved a major milestone, and that's bringing this club back to the Liga MX final for the first time since 2023. A dramatic 1-1 draw in the most passionate stadium in all of Mexico was enough to secure the ticket. But before we dive into the spectacular matchup for this week, let's discuss the 90 minutes that led up to the finals.
Okay. Let's real quick before we talk about Saturday, because I kind of want to wait until time this out to where Arnoldo gets here, so that way you and him and Alfred can both talk about this at the same time. Let's go back to Thursday. 1-1 draw. We scored first. Correa scored a great goal. They scored a penalty that should have been a penalty because it didn't even hit Farfan's hand first. But overall, we did what we needed to do on the road there in order to set us up for what happened on Saturday. Anybody have any big picture thoughts about Wednesday of last week?
I think it was an important game to get us off on a right note. We had made a lot of mistakes against Xolos in that first leg, and I think it was important to go in, minimize errors, kind of show that we were going to fight. And I think it was perfectly planned game by Pizarro. Not overly aggressive. We absorbed some pressure, but overall, I thought the guys understood the game plan and they executed perfectly. I thought we looked more dangerous, even though they had more opportunities, more shots. I think statistically they looked better, even in both games. But every time Tigres had a counter, the opportunity to score was there. I think the way Correa was playing, the way Bruneta was playing, Lainez, there was always intent to try to score. It never felt like we were in a low block just trying to absorb pressure without any intent to counter or to fight back. So to be able to get ahead on the score was great. And then I never really saw a clear handball on that play. To this day, I still haven't seen a replay where it's clear. And at one point, I was rewatching the game and I noticed the positioning of the ref. He wasn't even anywhere near the play, and Farfan had his back to him, and there was two Cruz Azul players kind of blocking his view, and I don't understand how he could have possibly seen that handball. So for them to not go to VAR on that is ridiculous. And honestly, if they don't get that call, I don't know if they score. And it just felt that way the entire series. Like, yeah, they were taking shots, but it was nothing to really say, wow, they're really like we say in Spanish, apedrando el rancho, right? I mean, there wasn't none of that. So to me, it was a big bailout by the ref. But in spite of all that, going back home 1-1, I thought, man, that's a game that we can definitely control at home, because now the burden is on them to be able to score against us.
Sorry, I was muted. Comment from Threedger talking about those penalties. Both pens were not pens. There's an argument for the second one, but the second one was more of a pen because Romulo did make contact. So I will disagree with you there, but both kind of iffy either way. Before I let anybody else talk, let us bring in the pride of Corpus, but he lives in Houston. Hey, Jay. How are you?
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
How you feeling?
Excited for the week.
Did we all agree to come in blue? What's going on here? Lou, you're the only one that left us hanging. What's up?
I never wear the blue kit, guys. I do not ever wear it.
Bro, I just grabbed the first thing that I saw in my closet.
But now. I might have made an exception for you guys if you guys would have told me.
If we would have coordinated a little bit.
With some fingers crossed the whole time, though.
I can't stand you.
Which, by the way, speaking of that, you guys noticed we're going all yellow, home and away.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
That's good news.
It's the way to go.
Great news.
That did not happen last time we were in a final 2 years ago in the America series, and unfortunately, that poor navy blue jersey, which was on a good run, got a little bit cursed at the Azteca. But
or even worse, having to go into that second leg wearing the white kit, bro.
Woo!
Yeah. That would have been extremely concerning.
Yeah, Absolutely. AJ, do you have any big picture thoughts going back to Wednesday of last week from the first leg, or do you kind of agree with what Lou just laid out for us?
No, I think the first leg it was speed, and I think we saw that Cruz Azul struggled with the counter from Chivas. So I like the lineup from Wednesday. It was speed, and our wingers were getting the better of them that game, the first leg.
My only thing about Wednesday that I'll say is that it was unfortunate that Ibanez came off, especially after having such a big contribution in the second leg of the Tijuana series. It was like, okay, this is a bummer. Maybe bro's a little bit cursed here, but it is what it is. Alfred, we haven't had you here in a bit on the show. As we start transitioning into Saturday, tell us the game day experience. Lead us off with that. Like pregame, what was the vibe like? How early did you get there? I know you got there crazy early, but start telling us about Saturday actually in the stadium.
Yeah, so for starters, obviously, you guys know that, Liguilla in Monterrey is crazy. Obviously, still having Rayados present at semifinals and having the possibility of a Final Regia. All last week, you could see nothing but Tigres and Rayados jerseys everywhere. Can't say the same thing this week, but last week there definitely was, just a lot of tension, just a lot of, football rivalry going on everywhere in the colonias, between families, at work. Like, you got people in the work chats that were starting to talk shit, and it was the whole experience, guys. So obviously leading up to the game, we were all very excited. We did have the advantage that we could see, or we could know what the result of the Rayados versus Toluca game was going to be by the time our game started, which, needless to say, it got us going. I mean, if the crowd was already going to be lit, just the fact that happened, just minutes before our game started, you guys can't imagine it. You guys can't imagine it. I'm actually going to be uploading in a little while, maybe after our pod, my little recap video of the whole game experience. So you guys will get to watch that. But Arnoldo and I both went to the game. Our plan was to get there 2 hours early, just to make sure that we're catching some good seats and picking up the vibes and all that. And oh surprise, I had not been in a Liguilla game in quite a while, maybe over 5-6 years here in Monterrey. And maybe I just forgot, but 2 hours before the game was not early enough. When we arrived at the stadium, there was already like endless lines at every single gate of the stadium. I'm talking about, we got there 2 hours earlier, and we could not get in until 40 minutes later. That's how long the line was. And obviously this, this goes hand to hand with, just the fact that everybody's excited. Everybody has that feeling, that this is a championship run. Okay. Not gonna, we're not trying to, say, hey, it's ours. We're not like that, but it's a championship run. That's what it feels like. And it's felt that way since at least the last, maybe 5-6 games, where, just the vibes between the fan base and the team are there. Everything that's necessary, for us to push our team for the championship has been there. And so it was shown, with how the people were showing up for the game on Saturday. And, it was just exciting to watch, man. We got in, we still were able to get a good couple of seats, even though, we were late, to arrive to the line. But it was a great buildup. It was a great buildup.
Dang, you caught me mid drink there. I'll get Arnoldo's point of view on it here in a little bit, but I just got to say, your glasses footage this week, unbelievable. Oh my gosh. If you guys who are listening don't know what I'm talking about, you should follow Alfred on TikTok, because you can get the meta glasses footage from the game, and there's some great footage of when the goal was scored, when Nahuel saved the penalty, at the end of the game. Just a lot of good stuff in those videos. So you should definitely go check that out on TikTok.
Arnoldo's reaction is definitely meme worthy.
Oh man, I will get to that when he gets here. Edgar, I'll kick it over to you. When you saw the lineup on Saturday, knowing that we shifted back to Guignac starting, Correa kind of being out on the wing or kind of having a free role, Brunetta being more advanced, that more balanced lineup that we've seen this season, were you happy? I assume you were.
Yeah, absolutely. It was very refreshing to see. Reassuring to me as well. Just, knowing that Pizarro was intentionally not screwing up with our starting 11, not modifying.
Yeah. He got the right lineup, I think, in both games. On Wednesday, he got it right. On Saturday, he got it right. It helps that everybody's been healthy, because that's been the biggest thing. If somebody in midfield or in the back line is not right, then it affects different things, specifically like Romulo, for example. Like, I think one of the biggest things that we've seen throughout this season, and especially this Liguilla run, is that Romulo is so much more influential in the midfield than he is as a center back. And not to say that he's a bad center back, because we know he is a pretty good one, but just when he's the anchor, breaking up play, putting in tackles, it's just a different ball game. I got to talk about this taconazo that Guignac had, man. Just from a pure football fan perspective, that was just so satisfying of a goal to watch. I was making the joke to my friends earlier today watching Champions League. I was like, how's Tigres out here playing better football than some of these European teams? More attractive football. You know what I mean? Because there was, combination plays. There was cool passes in the game on Saturday, even throughout this whole run. And that taconazo was just served on a platter, gave Brunetta such a clear opportunity at the goal. And you could tell, at least to me, watching the game, you could tell that deflated Cruz Azul so much, because they were getting into our half, getting into our box. They had played a double 9 on Saturday, switching things up, and we were having to absorb a lot of pressure. And so to have that clear-cut opportunity, I think just zapped so much of their vibe and their momentum. And obviously we love that. Let's talk about the penalty that got saved. Be honest with me, guys. How confident were you that Nahuel was going to save that on a 0 to 100% scale?
100. Guys, I never record PKs against us. I never do. I wanted to record this one. I just knew. I was like, no, Nahuel's going to save it. Click, let me record. And it happened.
Okay, so you said 100. Edgar, on Saturday, were you also at that level, or were you below it?
For me, it was 85. It was a lot of confidence in Nahuel. I know he had a little bit of slump with the PKs, but I was pretty confident, and he proved me right.
AJ?
I was more on he was going to shoot it over the crossbar rather than a save.
Yeah, so
he didn't look confident at all walking up to take the shot. So I thought he was going to either shoot it over or shoot it wide, personally.
Lou?
Yeah, I was pretty confident. I wasn't at 100%, but I was pretty close to 100. Just because to get Nahuel twice is really hard, bro. It's like winning 2 games in the NFL, right, against a tough team. If you beat them the first time, the second time it's likely going to go the other way. He's just Nahuel is so good. He just has such a great instinct for those sort of moments, bro. It's unbelievable how good he is at figuring out people. He the whole time, not only is he trying to get into the shooter's head, but at the same time, he's like using those moments to read the person, and you could tell, right? He's just gathering all this info, and that's why you have such high confidence in the guy, knowing that he's gonna guess right, and 9 out of 10 he's gonna save it. He's just incredible in that sense.
I was at about 80 because I'm with you, Lou. Like, I was remembering earlier in the week, like, oh, he got him the first time, but there's no shot. It's, the same this time, right? Like, there's just no shot. But I wasn't like all the way confident. Just because I know that Nahuel has had some really good saves from penalties this year, but you also got to remember, like, sometimes he's a little bit slower to like move. I mean, he's older. He's 39, 40, right? Like, he's a little bit slower to get to one side or the other. Not to say that he's bad.
Don't start being a Piojo Herrera on us, man. Come
Hey,
on.
I'm just saying.
Don't give me that Piojo Herrera.
He's got older legs. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's like that's the reality. Like he's not as quick as he was even like 5 years ago. Sometimes, but sometimes he is. He surprises us.
Nahuel for 2030. Nahuel for 2030.
I'm down.
He's got a year and a half contract still.
Yeah.
No,
And-
but right now, Dennis, he's probably going through one of his best moments PK wise.
Absolutely.
Well, not only just PKs. I think he's been phenomenal this whole season.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of very many mistakes that he's made, and definitely none that cost us games. But as far as PKs, I feel like right now his confidence is through the roof. I don't want this Toluca series to go to PKs, but if it were to go to PKs,
You feel good.
us against Hugo
Yeah.
Gonzalez,
Oh.
Nahuel versus Hugo Gonzalez. I mean, even as bad as our PK takers are, you feel like you got Nahuel back there. It's a big confidence booster.
Yeah. Well, let's put a pause on that and bring in the father of the show, looking like he's going through the snow of Nebraska with his all weather jacket. I don't know though.
Bro,
You got it before you left.
Oh yeah, bro. I told Alfred, I was like, I saw a couple of these at the stadium, and I was like, I didn't know they released it. I missed the release on this. I already have the green one, and I love the green one. It's so cool. And I love the color. It's like rich blue. Like,
Yeah.
big fan.
It's darker than this one
Yeah.
because I've seen that at the stores recently.
Yeah.
We do have a comment from my great friend Clayton, who is saying Gignac is greater than Isak. Currently, yes. Unfortunately for me and my Liverpool fandom, yes. But fortunately for my Tigres fandom, also yes. Totally fine. I don't know though. I'll kick it to you. Alfred already kind of gave us a little bit of his POV from the game on Saturday, specifically pre-game build up on all that.
Literally POV based on TikToks.
Yeah, facts. So give us your POV as you walked in and as the anticipation was building at El Volcán.
It was very nostalgic. I'd already had been to games ever since my initial return to Mexico a few years ago, and it was incredible. From the moment I woke up on Saturday, the anticipation and just the feeling of remembering what it felt like leading up to the game for the whole day, and then understanding the importance of the match and, my first ever liguilla at El Volcán. That was unbelievable. Alfred was a fantastic host in my travel there. He, picked me up, went to the game, gave me the whole experience and the rundown of how he lives his experience. It was pretty cool. The match itself, man, like, the fans showed out. Alfred can attest to this. There were so many people. I feel like now I understand how we ramp up those numbers when they get released every game. Like, there's literally no seats for anybody. People just standing, and obviously, like, most people are aware of that, and it's been seen on television during matches. But it was just incredible. The atmosphere was great. Didn't even realize Alfred recorded off of his. This was a literally point of view through his sunglasses. That's incredible. And like, kind of, forget about it. Yeah, exactly. My man is the poster of TikToks. But it was incredible. We had a good match. Tigres seemed in control at all times, and look at you.
So good, bro. It's just so good.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, incredible.
Those are moments you can only capture once, bro.
Dude, and we had the seats reserved. Like that was dope. Like we showed up. Everything was taken care of. Like I said, props, kudos to Alfred. Gave me an amazing experience. Never forget that. But overall, like really happy with the team. Alfred kept making comments. I'm not sure if you guys want to add on to that, but I think I'm on the Linus boat 2 years later.
So the scholarship has been
Welcome
funded
aboard.
completely.
Yeah, the man
Welcome
is
aboard.
the man.
Hey, Arnoldo, you're on the Linus boat, but is Alfred on the Bruneta boat yet?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Come on now.
dude.
Yes, I am.
We're
Hang on,
rolling.
for a while.
We're clicking. We there's so many things, and I can't write. It was funny because I was thinking about Hugo Gonzalez. It's like, man, like there couldn't be a better script. Like La Última Gordo y Nos Vamos. We assist.
Wait, is like La Última Gordo for Hugo Gonzalez? Is that what it
No,
is?
I'm saying like it's all scripted. It's all scripted because we have all these things that are adding up. We got Hugo Gonzalez, the like Gignac hasn't given us a goal this Liguilla, and now he's gonna face Hugo Gonzalez. Or the chances and the percentage of him scoring against Hugo Gonzalez is high. And for Gignac to show up in the final, we showed that obviously in the semis with the assist beautifully to Bruneta, but I sense there's a goal in him. It might be through a PK, it might be through a gameplay, but again, going back to the script, Toluca, a team that we haven't played in a final quite yet. In that conversation for being one of the important teams, I saw a bunch of content today from Fox Sports. Terrible. It's so outdated with the Diego de la Torre and them, like Aspe and even Chaco Gonzalez being on that train. It's like, dude, like
they're living in like 30. They're living in 1995, bro.
Yeah, and
It's
so
ridiculous.
like I said, the time is here. Like the team really built and cleared any doubt over the last 6 to 8 months between Guido Pizarro. When did he take over? May, April?
March.
So give or take, 9 months almost.
9 months.
And the team has been transformed from actually having players that have a specific role. Correa coming on, Bruneta's level, Nando even like as much as the hate he gets, the effort's never in question and like runs around with his chicken with his head off. But ultimately, it's part of a contribution that has happened. Aquino going to the bench and surrendering his role to Chuy Garza and finally stepping into that, caliber player that we think he can be. Farfan, showing great skill set and, on the ball, off the ball, defensively in the air. It's a season that has everything of an aura of a championship. And it's just now a matter of being patient, being able to be intelligent and take advantage of the moments in the game. And there's nothing that can get in the way but Tigres themselves, because systematically, I think that we're the better team. Talent-wise, because of the injuries of Alexis Vega being out, a huge asset to their offense, could also lead us in the direction. Turco Mohamed, a guy that Guido Pizarro knows exceptionally well, and the squad. Aura, I sense it.
I'll add something to that script. And this was brought up to me by my dear cousin. So here's the thing. You guys know that there's always been these talks about Nahuel's greatness, about Guignac's greatness in the history of the Liga MX, right? Okay. Who has Gignac always been compared to? Or who is that guy that everyone keeps on saying, oh, he can't beat this guy?
Pepe Cardoso.
Where is the final going to be?
Yeah.
Just imagine, guys.
In his backyard.
Imagine Gignac lifting the trophy, guys, at the Toluca Stadium. What will that do to that narrative?
And the narrative also Alfred, of Nahuel Guzman being in that conversation with Miguel Marin, Cristante, and Calero in their house as well, giving them that title and separating himself as the most successful goalie in the history of the Liga MX with the most titles. It's ours for the taking, guys. I think that I am really looking forward for an excellent match at home of like solid 30 minutes in the first half, with obviously some adjustment and transition time to feel out the opponent. Second half being more of a controlling aspect, but being even, I wouldn't use the word ratonero, but just, being smart and intelligent and tactically beating Turco Mohamed, because I think that's definitely an underrated aspect of this final is that everybody points to Turco Mohamed to have the full advantage coaching wise, and he's won it, and he has earned the titles. But tactically, I don't know how far off he is, from Guido per se. But I know that his system requires a lot of offensive flow, and like he gets the players help out a lot in the type of building that team. So I don't think that it's far-fetched to think that with what Guido has shown all season and the role that everybody's been taking starting wise and off the bench, that he can also offer a strategic, difficulty for El Turco Mohamed.
Before you keep talking about the final, I just want to quickly go back to Saturday really quick. Some things I wanted to hit on before we fully transitioned into talking about the final. The Purata own goal, tough. However, he may end up starting Thursday, so hopefully that doesn't destroy his confidence. I think we can collectively say, all of us here and all of us Tigres fans are thinking about Chiquete, and after that horrific injury that he got, it did not look good on TV. I'll tell you that. And I saw that he had a nice little note from us to the Tigres fans about the reception he got and all that. So hopefully he recovers well. I don't know. I assume he just destroyed his ACL or Achilles or something. And
it's his ankle, right?
Broke his ankle.
Oh, okay. So I mean, he'll still be out a while. Doesn't matter.
He's good. I like him.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you guys two more things about Saturday. Was it the game you expected, and who was your man of the match of the series? Because I think there wasn't like a standout, like runaway guy who's like, this is the guy who won us the series. Like I think there was a lot of key contributors in that Cruz Azul series, but I want to hear everybody's opinion on that. Not everybody wants.
That's a good question, and you're right. There was not like a single figure that stole the show, but Threedger about to agree with me. I think if we had to give it to somebody, it was Nahuel. I think he just, I don't know, a bit more contributions from him that helped get us into that final.
And some nice one-handed saves. That was fun.
The first 5 minutes, like we got bombarded, like offensively by them, and he made an initial stop off of a shot. This, calmed everybody down. The penalty, obviously, like you mentioned, the one-handed catches. I think he's the sole standout for me, but I think as a collective unit, I think the whole team was on point for different like moments of the match. Love seeing Angel Correa be at the left back spot, defending, chasing down, stealing the ball, and then pushing up the offense to be direct with Brunetta feeding over to Laines. So I think that very happy with the performance about the team in general, on top of Nahuel being, the sole standout.
AJ, Lou?
Yeah, I can't give it to anybody, bro, because there was just so many amazing performances throughout. Like look at the numbers for Correa, Brunetta, and Lainez, but don't look at their numbers offensively. Look at their numbers defensively, and watch how impressive they are. Between the three in this last game, 20 recoveries. The amount of work these guys were putting in to earn the ball back was just phenomenal. I don't know who we're using for the fitness aspect, but he's just doing a phenomenal job. I mean, Angel Correa runs nonstop for 90 minutes, dude. It's amazing to watch. What's crazy about Angel Correa is that he was so great and dominant in both games, and he has been all liguilla, but he still has another 2 notches to go. Like if he can get dialed in against Toluca and put away the chances he's getting, this dude is just gonna own the final, bro. I mean, it's just amazing to watch how he moves, but just the movement overall from everybody, you could tell Pizarro has his hand on this squad, bro. I haven't seen movement this good since probably 2017, and and the way we're able to win the positional battle on the wings, what I was seeing from Farfan, from Garza and Lainez, for example, always having 2v1s, always having the edge in the corners. That's just all movement you do during practice. That's just all work that they're doing during the week. And you can see Pizarro he's just working with these guys. I mean, to me, if you're able to get Pizarro one or two more pieces, bro, you're looking at a generational type of team.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to watch, and to me, the buy-in and the effort we're getting from everybody. Romulo was just amazing defensively, bro. I mean, everywhere. His defensive stats were through the roof. And I mean, Arnoldo named Farfan, the way he runs up and down that wing. Nahuel, amazing. I mean, if they can keep this level and maybe just go one more notch because it's the final, Toluca's really going to struggle against us.
I know that in the Club World Cup, that Palmeiras match, we had a goal come off of a penalty, but that level of like play by the entire team is like the last time I saw, a Tigres team be so cohesive on the field and everyone understanding their role entirely, having a difference maker. We were looking so much for a replacement for Gignac, and we found it through Angel Correa, a guy that played under Cholo Simeone and is like has a bunch of sacrifice and actually contribute to the goals. I don't know if we have that pod that we can probably clip, Dennis, when we had this conversation about where did we expect Angel Correa to be goal-wise and assist-wise. I mean, I'd like to see who got close to identifying that, because I know that I like to say I was close to like 8 goals and maybe 4 assists. But I think that we all kind of were in that general area of like 10 to even like 12. I think someone had a high one, but ultimately lived up to the expectation. And so it's incredible. It's incredible.
I think higher than the expectation, guys. I mean, if I may recall correctly, part of the conversation that we were having back then was that he was just going to come in to be, a collaborator. And I was like, no, he can't be a collaborator. He's got to be a difference maker. So
Yep.
I think that he has surpassed mostly everybody's expectations because he has been the difference maker in the offense of this team.
AJ, who is your man of the series? Sorry, and then I'll let you go, Edgar.
Like they've been saying, I think the defense as a whole, this whole series was phenomenal. They held their line, they kept their shape. The goals we allowed weren't from open play; they were from penalties and an own goal. So the defense as a whole, to me, was the MVP of the series. They held it down, and the simple mistakes of keeping your hand, even though the penalty was questionable. The fact that their only goals were from penalties and an own goal, that speaks a lot of volume for this defense. But okay, I'm trying to share my screen.
Oh, you got something for us?
Yeah, let me see. Could y'all see?
No, I don't see anything different.
Let's see.
Edgar, you want to?
Yeah, what were you going to say?
Oh, wait! I got it.
So this is Correa's
heat map. Yeah, look at that.
So this is from the second leg. This is from Saturday.
Wow.
Like he's supposed to be center, and look, he's everywhere.
On the left.
Bro, what?
That's the intensity we wanted from him, And
bro, and that's
look
how
at that. I look at that red circle behind the line of midfield. That tells me that's where he's coming back down to pick up the ball
Yeah.
so often.
Yeah.
And then this is Linus. You know, they have like this is what I'm talking like.
Oh my God, bro, who is that? Vinicius in the flesh?
We've been telling you for
Mini
10
Vinny.
damn years.
But I'm definitely Romulo's who I'm definitely.
Oh, look at that.
Bro,
Romulo's.
he had a defensive play in the first half where it was a collaboration between Chuy Garza and him covering that space, and he tracked back and stopped a full offensive flow of a play that stopped like a goal creation. That dude has excellent timing. Like, we have to have a player, you know, I don't know what the future entails for Bigon after this. Obviously, he contributed in the quarterfinals and love the energy as a teammate that he brings. But I think obviously with Nando becoming, I would say, a more expendable and at times could be more used in a bench role, especially with the rule change that just got released today about like, you know, next season or next tournament, we're going to be able to use 9 foreign players on the field. So we got to stock up on like offensive or, you know, foreign players and like round up the squad. So I think if he gets a complementary player that can dictate play out of the back, you know, with more defensive like skill set, but along the lines of what Brunetta, a guy like Palavecino would have been an excellent option there, or a Mexican young player to like just counter that energy of like just creation. I think that, dude, we would be locked in for years. Like Lou said, like we got a project. Like I think you know, the future is bright with how these young guys have stepped up, and more so the young guys, Joaquin, Romulo, Linus. Even, you know, the addition of obviously Correa, Brunetta already been around. You know, like I said, Gorreran's effort, Angulo stepping into a new role as a center back. Incredible.
Okay,
You could
Edgar,
tell
hold on.
Zwar-
Let me get Edgar to say his thought from earlier because I totally interrupted him.
Oh, no, you're good. It's not as important as the conversation we're having now, but I just did want to publicly apologize to Angel Correa because I said he wouldn't score more than 5 goals.
Ah,
I don't remember you saying that, Edgar.
was it
Did
that
you say it on the
low?
pod?
Wow.
Along the lines, but I know the expectations were low because I was traumatized from the last World Cup champion who played for this team.
Ah, yes. Sure. Sorry,
I
Lou,
had
go
no
ahead.
I had no recollection of that. No, I was just gonna say that Zwarg, you could tell, is like learning a ton from Pizarro. I was like watching the game and I was seeing him drop in between the center backs, constantly dropping in and then floating back into the midfield and dropping down. I was like, yeah, this guy is learning from Pizarro and he's like soaking it all up. I think this guy is only going to get better just from you know, Pizarro was such a great midfielder. I think he's just gonna transmit all that info over to Zwarg, and he's actually like more athletic than Pizarro was. But you know, I think his game is only gonna improve.
Yeah, we have the new Pizarro now in him. Now we just need to find his Carioca to pair next to him in midfield. That's a future.
Which, to
problem.
give credit to Gorriarán, he hasn't been bad, bro. I mean,
Had a good liguilla.
he's been in spots where he's contributing. I think he slides into that left spot when Lainez tucks in. He kind of fills in that void, and he's able to contribute. So I think he's doing a lot more in the build-up than he was earlier in the season.
He helps a lot in the just the 1-2, you know, the you know,
Yeah.
touch and go, the touch and go with Linus, the touch and go with Garza. He helps a lot in that.
Yeah. My nobody said his name yet. Too much in regard to the series, but I thought my standout person of the series was Joaquin, because I just felt like he was so locked in. I've never seen him so locked in and not make like any stupid mistakes before until this series. Because, you know, he's got that goofiness to him sometimes where he kind of like is late to a tackle or does something dumb or throws throws a
He's
hand
got
out or
the
something.
bull in a china cabinet.
Yeah, exactly. And he did not have any moment like that, except for like maybe one early part of Saturday's game. I just thought he was so rock solid. Dealt with Fernandez like really well. Dealt with Sepulveda well on Saturday. Because they were like targeting like his spot in the air. Like they just kept on playing the long ball for a bit, and he was clearing every single header, and he was dealing with the hold up play really well. I thought he had a very, very impressive series. And I just wanted to highlight him specifically because as a whole, that's probably the most consistent that he has played in a Tigres jersey, and what a better time to have him have those two consistent games. So long may it continue. Okay. Edgar, did you write any like big piece about the final, or is it still what it was from earlier today?
So still what it was from earlier.
You got to read that first.
Wanted to
You
dive
gotta
right
read
into
that
it,
first one.
but I do have one question for you guys before we get to that.
Okay.
Did anybody want the next Final Regia?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, I did.
I dreaded so
Because
much.
I wanted to close it home, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I wanted to end the narrative. I wanted it to end badly, with us winning in their house and in our house, and I thought it was possible. I was telling you guys earlier, obviously, we got a chance to see the game result before our game, but we were actually like, since we were at the stadium already and up in the palcos, they had the TVs. We were actually like following live, as the goals were happening. A lot of people cheering, and I was like, I hope Rayados can come back. But I mean, in the end, most people were happy. But yeah, I wanted a final regia.
I think all of us did, to be honest. Did you? I don't know though. AJ? Yeah.
Yeah, it's personal with me.
I was going to say I identified immediately after we scored the 5 goals in the quarterfinals that we were ready for anything. And I think that I was very open to the Final Regia because, like, you guys said, it's just cementing the complete dominance and like separating and like just having that chance. Obviously, there's the common fear that we could have lost, but I think that what has been shown during the last year of soccer in Liga MX, we've been the better team overall, and we have the better talent on the field, 11 versus 11. So I think that I was super open to it, but I also was very open to and very happy with having Toluca because, like I mentioned when I came on, I think that everything that we talked about the script and how this could be a good narrative to like end a wonderful story for a few of our players, and then build up on that with additions that we've been discussing.
There's another thing to the script. Where did this glorious era begin? At Toluca, in that game that took us into the Libertadores.
Oh wow, Damian Alvarez.
That's right.
Just imagine closing.
It's all full circle.
Coming first circle.
Okay.
Gallardo, Hugo Gonzalez.
Bro, crazy. Crazy.
You're evil, Arnoldo. You're evil, bro.
I love it.
Hey guys, I mean, in all honesty, he'll have if we win this championship, he'll have his own statue right next to Guiñac's and Nahuel's outside, Puerta Uno.
Free beer always in San Nico, bro.
See you.
Hey, real quick with that, because you made me think about it, Alfred, and I brought it up to your attention on Saturday. Lou or anybody, what happened to the Ring of Legends thing? Like, they didn't add any players. Are we just content with like not adding some for a while?
There was no word on why they stopped, bro. I mean, there's no reason to stop. There was still plenty of legends to add. I don't know what's going on with that.
The last person they added was
Lucas
earlier this season, right?
Lucas, and then before that was Damian.
Damian, yeah, I was at the Damian ceremony.
So I have a theory, and it's relatively stupid, but so's our directiva, so this might go hand in hand. My theory is they stopped adding because we're getting a new stadium.
Ay, güey. Por eso no arreglan los baños también.
That's what
Well,
I'm saying.
actually,
Oh, which
we were talking
whoever
about that. We were talking about that.
who
Yeah.
shared that one link from that guy on TikTok that went to the stadium, and somebody said we got to get him on the pod. Who was it? Which one of you was it that
I
shared it?
sent a video, but I don't think I sent the bathroom video.
There's a
Well,
guy.
that guy just put up a clip showing the bathrooms, and he said, "Hey, you need to do better. Look at these lines."
Yeah, dog.
And,
He posted it on
and
TikTok.
he called it out.
Yo,
So, obviously, the whole bathroom thing and the whole, old stadium thing has always been a thing, right? But yes, it does need some renovation. It does need some little love, some TLC. But I do believe that it has to do with that. Like they don't want to put any more money into a stadium. They actually just, if in case you guys don't know, I mean, I haven't joined you guys in the pod, but I think it was last week or the week before.
Yeah.
They just finally approved the sale of the lot of the Afine, which was that adjacent lot to the Volcan parking lot. That was kind of like that area that was needed to expand that stadium into its full capacity or size. So they just actually signed basically the lease.
So they can build
No, it's because in the actual first plot, or however you want to call it, the plan of the stadium, the actual stadium is next to the Universitario, and like a little corner of it clips that piece of land. So it was needed just for the sheer size of the stadium to get that piece of land, and it was just approved.
And that's and it had to do something with like the territorial aspect of San Nicolas and Monterrey, right?
Yeah, because it belongs to Monterrey, so that's where it divides the municipios, San Nicolas and Monterrey. So it was just this whole political ordeal behind it.
Shout out Samuel.
Hey,
Samuel.
He can get all the shit he wants. Anybody wants to send him, for anything, but he's tried. My man has tried.
Absolutely.
More than Cemex, more than the Mauricios. So yeah,
bro. Yeah, honestly, yeah, he really is
he's a
like
hardcore fan.
Yeah, bro.
We gotta get him on the pod,
bro. That's on you, Lou. You gotta pull the strings for that one.
He speaks English. We might
have to.
No, hold on.
Actually, I might have some family ties there, bro.
See. And then we got Pello Maldonado, being sending love to Lou.
Why don't we get them both on the same pod?
Nombre way, bro. Now we would need Monkey Papa sponsoring that instantly.
I was laughing quite a bit whenever I saw, and that's why I said it. I was like, get a room, because I saw Pello. He's like, I love you, my friend. And I was like, look at this man. Somebody share the screen on that tweet of Pello Maldonado declaring his love for Lupa.
By the way, speaking of that TikTok that we were just referring to, this guy Oba,
that's the guy.
Oba he creates a lot of content outside of just soccer. Like I don't think I follow him, but he came across a lot on my timeline.
Yeah, he's like currently in Monterrey, but he's been like, I guess he was for a little bit in El DF, like he was a little bit in Guadalajara, just kind of, I guess, going around different parts of the country. Pretty great. See, thank you, Threaker. Threaker gets my vision. Pello and Samuel with Monkey Papas. Here's the deal. Edgar and I... Oh, here you go. Show that thing, Edgar. We have unfinished business. You know that... What does that say?
You know that I am al pie del cañón. Just need to set the date and we're ready to go. You know that I love you. Have hug. Get a room.
Hey, the date was yesterday. For being real, it was like a month and a half ago, but
bro.
Oh man, I'm never gonna live this one down, bro.
Oh, that's
I blame Dennis for all of this, bro.
What did I do?
Speaking of Pello, Dennis, talk to us about like the audience viewership options that we have for like this match.
So we have the Estrella broadcast. We'll have Fox Deportes again. We'll have Telemundo again. That's where I watch Saturday's game. I watch it on Telemundo. And I'm almost positive TUDN has both legs this time as well.
TUDN bought rights from TV Azteca. They both will have it.
Wow. Okay. So
Look at them
it's
needing
gonna
us
be
now.
it's gonna be one of the most watched finales in a long time because it's gonna be broadcasted on
Everything.
public free in Air TV. So everybody's gonna have access to it. It's like no limitations.
super accessible, which
La
we
última
love.
nos vamos, gordo. Come on.
Hey,
In
now
front of the world to see.
You know, going back to the narrative, this is great. Just adding to the narrative. When was his contract announced?
Never. Nobody ever said anything except him, I think.
La última nos vamos, gordo. That's
I want
my motto to the weekend. It's
I saw a clip. I believe it was from Fox as well, but where they were asking, or no, maybe I think it was the Azteca, where they were asking like, if you were Gignac, and if you have 6 months left of your contract, but you lift the trophy on Sunday, what do you do?
Or he only had a 6-month contract because he has the choice to extend another 6 months if they didn't win the championship, or you feel like it was not enough and you renew for a lower price. I don't know if he ever got re-signed.
But let's say he does have that extra 6 months, but he lifts the trophy on Sunday. Like, wouldn't it be?
Dude,
like,
I was gonna wait to ask this
perfect to
question
just
till
end?
later, bro.
No, bro, it's here. We're in the final, bro. We got a match to play in 2 days.
I think you just have.
When did you want to say it on Friday? What?
No, I'm wait like 30 minutes once we get through all the analysis, bruh.
I think you just have to hang up the boots. It's the best way to go.
Yeah.
Be like Jordan, retire on top.
Yeah, man.
What do you think, AJ?
Yeah, we'd go out on top, personally.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the narrative.
And like, as much as I would love one more
Hey,
season,
but just to
10 more
throw a
games.
wrench in this, if he wins this one and then they go out and get one more piece for next season, bro, you're looking at the bicampeonato possibility.
And a Conca run, dog. Come on now.
The Conca run with a championship on Sunday would be a fantastic way to begin the year, and bring in those players with after getting rid of some of the high wages that we have currently.
Exactly.
We'll have 2 foreign spots available, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, because Nico's gone, surely,
And then we have 1 vacant.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then you have Cordoba's wages. Antuna will probably get moved.
Bring me the lawn chair for Lou.
No. But anyways, that's next season. We got to get this chip on Sunday or Thursday and Sunday. Sorry for bringing that up, but what's next? What you got?
Okay.
Edgar, Edgar's got to say his
Edgar,
line.
say the first thing that's on the outline about the final.
You got to
say it out loud.
So listeners, sometimes there's notes in here that are more just for me, but I guess we have to so the first note for this segment.
Bro, just like any rapper, bro, just like any rapper, you gotta have like a rough draft and like additional notes where you want to change up the lyrics, bro. You gotta spit that game.
That's true.
Anyways, say it.
Que chingue su madre Mohamed.
Eso! And all the people said amen. Anyways, okay. All right, lineup. Do we think he keeps the same lineup both games? I personally think he should. I think there's one way that he goes, but I also could see him shifting things between legs 1 and 2 like he has throughout the playoffs. What do we think is going to happen? Starting with you, Lou, Coach Lou. Tactics.
I'm going to go 4-2-3-1 for the home game, and I'm going to go 4-2-4 for the away game. I think he saves Gignac for the end on that one, in case there's any funny business where we might go into overtime or PKs, any funny business like that. You save Gignac, so that means you plug in Herrera back into the starting lineup. And so you go Herrera until he can't no more. And then if anything is sub, if like, let's say Herrera's having a horrible game, I think he might even bring in Nico first, just to see how things play, and to save Gignac. Gignac's got to be your ace, because if it goes into PKs, for example, you do not want Gignac out for PK because you want that guy in for PK. So I think he's gonna play Gignac in the first game.
Repeat
In that
lineup, right?
4-2-3-1, pretty much repeat lineup, and then 4-2-4 for with Herrera in Toluca on the away.
I was thinking, like, to segue with from that point of view is the whole, like, if Nico Ibanez is ready, I think he's the option to start. You play with a forward, so you don't change too much systematically of what you want to do with everybody's role. He's a good option in the air, obviously. You use them until you have them, and then I thought about Osiel Herrera or even going Osiel Herrera because we're gonna have space to counter them. If you do what you're supposed to do at home and take care of business, whether that's a 2-0 victory, a 2-1 victory, welcoming a higher margin of result. But I think if once you go back there, you have to be intelligent and you got to be like very strategic of how to use your pieces. And like Lou mentioned, any funny business, you want Gignac to have that rest, especially at the altitude of Mexico City. So you want to exhaust the other options and, with the spacing that they may leave. And, Correa is going to ball out. Linus is going to be okay. The midfielder will be okay. And obviously our defense, which is our strength.
Okay.
We'll see what Pello says tomorrow in the live, but my understanding is Angulo is likely out first leg, and Nico's unavailable first leg. Is from what I'm hearing at least. Which Angulo being out does hurt us a little bit. I think he had been really solid back there. I mean, not counting that first leg against Xolos, but every other game he had been really solid. I think they had a good partnership with Joaquim. So now that means for that first leg, you got to bring in Purata.
Guys, remember that in a lot of our championship runs,
yep,
our starting center backs
yep,
were out.
Yeah, Uguayala was notorious.
Palmera had to fill in that 2015.
There was also the time that Francisco
Mesa.
Mesa, yes.
19.
Which he came in to be the hero in that second leg.
Yeah.
19, I think it was Uguayala and Juninho on their own.
Which I would love to see a script like that where Purata has to play, bro, and he scores a header or something. Imagine the turnaround on that, the redemption aspect on it. Another storyline for you guys.
You made a comment today, Lou, on him about having this full support of the fan base, and especially with the possible start due to the Angulo injury. I think at this point, even with how, hate to use that word, but limited as he can be as a possible starting back for Tigres, he did get called up to the national team. He did a few good things. Pizarro trusted him from the get-go. So I think that the involvement in his role, right, is not so deep end of the bench anymore, right? He started a couple of games. I now believe that having him, if he does end up starting, it's not like so much a liability. Obviously, there's a little bit of disparity between him and Angulo and talent-wise and what they can offer you, especially with the true, left foot profile as a player for Angulo. So I have that trust that he is going to do what he needs to do at the level that he's able to give us no matter what. Like those bugs about like being that youngster, that not being able to play in big moments, I don't think that's anywhere remotely close of what I'm feeling that he can potentially do on the field.
Purata this, Purata that, and Rafa Guerrero's going to end up starting on Thursday. I'm kidding.
Easy, Tiger.
Tercero.
Trivia. Who was the starting right back of the Apertura 2016 championship team? Speaking of injured defenders. Yeah.
We had a deep right back spot. We had Advíncula, we had Ivan Estrada and Chaca Rodriguez all on the same team.
Yeah.
2016 was a very high volume of talent on the field that led to, Ener Valencia coming on.
Yep.
And Jesus Dueñas could play that spot as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mr. Versatile.
And then now look at that. Like if Aquino would have had, obviously he did so well at the left wing back. I'm sorry, at the left wing spot. Now right back as well. Who's also on that team.
Yep, exactly. All right. I'm going to ask everybody what their key to the series is. Starting with, I'm going to start with you, AJ. What is your biggest key to the series for Tigres to win their 9th league title in club history?
I think we got to control the midfield. We got to limit the crosses. I mean, we did good against Cruz Azul, but I think Toluca's identity offensively is getting crosses into the box. I like our chances with Alexis Vega being hurt, but they're still dangerous with crosses into the box.
Okay, Alfred.
Patience. I think the key is going to be patience. The team just overall has got to be patient. Even if we go down, they got to be patient. I think that if we can, just outsmart Mohamed's team and just get them tired and get them frustrated. I like a frustrated Mohamed.
I like that answer. Edgar, are you there? No? Okay. Lou.
This is one where we can't be timid for the entire series. I think this is, if I'm gonna use a fighting analogy, this is one where you want to trade blows the entire time. To me, the one thing I noticed with Toluca, especially down the stretch, is they're vulnerable defensively. So if that's their vulnerability, which I believe it is, statistically it kind of shows it is, then you have to attack. You have to go for it. And that means that sometimes we're going to be trading blows, right? It means we're on the attack, and then they get us on a counter. You might see a lot of that. So to me, even if like Alfred said, we catch one on the counter and they get us on the counter, our mentality needs to be just attack, go for it. And I'm with AJ. I think there's some important battles in the middle third that are gonna be pivotal. Nico Castro, for example, is a guy who was key for them in this Rayado series. The guy was getting over 60 touches a game. Very good passer. Is very good at finding the lanes, being in between the lines, finding the open man. So that's one guy I think that we need to keep him active defensively and make sure that we mark him well. Marcel Ruiz, for example, is a guy who has dipped in. He's very good, but he has dipped in performance. What I've noticed that this Toluca team is not as good as last season's Toluca team that we faced. And on the other hand, this Tigres team is much improved from last season. Last season, going into the series, I just wasn't very confident. I thought, man, we have to be perfect in every regard and then hope that they're not at their best. We have to win at home because we got no shot on the road. Whereas this year, I feel like, man, it's going to be, if we were to tie at home, I'm just as confident going over there and taking it from them. This team is just so much better with Angel Correa. And if our guys like Lainez and Angel Correa and Bruneta and Gignac can continue to stay dialed in and continue to take it to them, I think this is a series where we're going to make them struggle a lot defensively. But it just needs, our mindset needs to be there, sort of like that second leg against Xolos, right, where we came out for the kill. That's the same mindset we need to have all 180 minutes. Just attack. Obviously, defensively, we have to be solid, but offensiva all the way.
Yeah, you get it. Drieger saying, don't leave your hands out if you're defending in the penalty box. Facts. As
too
we
soon,
know.
Drieger.
Yeah, too soon, but you're also correct. Arnoldo.
I think that one of the big strengths that we have to continue to show out with is the defense. So I think Joaquin and Purata have, a tough task, and, eventually if Angulo is back for the second leg, being able to mark Paulinho and understanding that he is a big reason for Toluca being champions last season. Obviously, Vega having a monster season. Marcel Ruiz, like Lou talked about, but he took a dip. Nicolas Castro is another player who has been a standout for them, even going to at times being compared as one of the better signings this season, even with Angel Correa. And so I think that those two players for me are the reason that we can potentially lose this championship. And I think that relying on the strength that we've shown the entire season of our defense, our goalkeeping, and having a grip on Paulinho and Nicolas Castro and even Marcel Ruiz, who's now been there and has earned his stripes by winning a championship, is going to be key and potentially pulling out this championship. So I think it's going to be a mixed flow of contribution from the offensive side, but a strong contribution from the defensive side, like in 2019 and 2011, where we had solid defenses.
My biggest key is the individual battles that I'm really intrigued by. I think about both of our center backs, regardless of who it is, against Paulinho. I think about Elinho versus Farfan, right? Like that to me is such an important battle because of Elinho's speed and just his dynamic play that he can provide. Obviously, no mistakes. But to me, the biggest thing is that the spirit continues to be alive. That was something that 6 months ago.
Are you talking about el poder de la amistad, bro?
Perhaps.
I like that. I like that.
Because I think about 6 months ago when we played Toluca, right? And Lou, you just hit on it so well. We honestly probably shouldn't even been in that series, right? Like after what happened in that first round series. And we somehow scraped by, got into that series, and then we got crushed in the second leg. And that was in the midst of a time where we could not score like at all, especially on the road. The vibes were not right. The guys didn't step up in big moments. That has all changed dramatically this season. Whether it's, the fact that Correa's in the team now, we're defensively more solid, there's better chemistry, but that spirit of going for it, like you guys have all kind of just hit on, if that's there all 180 minutes, I think we have this. I really do. That looks like Correa continuing to attack on the counter and driving at defenses like he has all Liguilla. If he just has a slightly better touch sometimes when he's dribbling, he'll destroy this Toluca team to bits, I think. Just the mindset of Brunetta, like going for it and not shying away from the big moment. What leadership can Gignac and Nahuel provide in this moment? Guys who have been to, this is what, their 7th, 8th league final since 2015?
Get over there, go
8th,
inside.
I think. So all of that just makes me think that we have a really, really good chance of winning this, and I really hope we do, and I think we are going to get it. I really do. The vibe, the aura, as I don't know, the greatly put it earlier, it's there. It's been there ever since Alfred and I were at the San Luis game last month, and just the vibe that night in the stadium, it just felt different, right? And yes, Toluca is a great team. They've had an excellent year. Won the league last season.
But I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah,
against
same.
Against a team like this, that would be the perfect way, a perfect showing.
And in a series that we are technically the underdogs, right? Like everybody thinks, bicampeonato for them, this, that, and the other. Like that's what they think. But the reality is that we're in a really good spot, and I think we have a great chance to make it.
Can I also add something to the narrative that I just thought about?
Yes. Also, who added this picture?
I did.
Nice. I love that. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So, man, so a couple of things there. Hear me out on this. About to unleash some good stuff here. So
All right.
I don't know if we've ever shared screen on a live pod. That was excellent, AJ. I really appreciate that. I bet that's also something that people would appreciate because it gives a little bit more insight to what we're talking and discussing about, and as well as true evidence of what the reflections and the actual facts of the match. So that prompted me to this, and I took a lot of videos that I got to compile and put together, but I wanted to take the picture of the opening match. And so yeah, I thought about like sharing it. I think we should do that more often. I think that's pretty cool for regular season games to go over loose stats, so we get the coach's corner, review some of these XGs, and give more context of what's happening from all levels of the match. Right, like everybody here makes something contributory to what we got for the whole discussion. So there's that. So wanted to share that about the pick. The second thing, what does this all mean to you? 2015, 2017, 2019, 2023 should have been 2021 at that point, but then we got 2025. So championships and 2-year increments with a one-off.
In odd numbers.
If you're under the age of 30, enjoy it, man, because it wasn't always like this. We've been in 15 league finals, but 12 of them have come this century. And that's not counting the Libertadores final, the CONCACAF finals, the Club World Cup finals. So, man, I want this to continue. To me, we're at a really good place, and I want to see it, man. I mean, I want more of it. I want to be campeonato at some point. Another Conca, another trip to the Club World Cup. I think it's just you were talking about the narrative, I don't know, earlier about how some people are still living in the past, right? Like, oh, nobody watches Tigres. Somebody said it's a community team, like it's some kind of, only people in Monterrey watch it. It's no longer true. I mean, it's a team that's growing, and I think it's a team that's catching a lot of people's attention. So, we continue with our success, it's only going to grow. The brand is only going to get stronger. Dennis, you're muted, my friend.
Wow, producer fail. Yeah, I was gonna say we're in a really good spot. The vibes are really great, and now it's up to the boys to do their job. It's up to the fans to do a really good job on Thursday to set the tone and set the vibe well. Looking at you, Alfred, and maybe I don't know though, unless you're there on Sunday, which would be even crazier. But this is such a good time to be a fan. It's such a good time to follow this team, and what an opportunity these guys have to win another championship, to add to the legacy, to add to the golden era that feels like it hasn't officially ended yet, because it hasn't in a lot of ways, until the old guard truly is not there anymore. And what a better way to potentially, like you mentioned all episode, I don't know though, to send off our gordo with one last cup potentially. So now it's time for everybody's favorite part of the episode. May we predict the scores of the 2025 Liga MX Apertura final? And please provide your goal scorers. Starting with Alfred.
Oh, you guys are not gonna like my prediction.
I wait.
No, I mean, guys, this is Tigres, guys. You can't.
I see where you're going.
You can't go out on a limb and say, yeah, we're going to win 3-0. We're going to win 2-0 over there. It's a 5-0 global. No, I mean, no, that's not going to happen. I think we go down early on Thursday. I think we go down early in the game, go down 1-0, but we managed to tie it back up 1-1 before the end of the match. I do think that goal is going to come from Correa. And then over there, Not gonna like it, but I do see another 1-1 draw and going into PKs. I want it. I don't know why. It's just it fuels me. It's part of me being Tita that I want to suffer that way. But I'm actually gonna be there both games. In both games.
Nice.
I know that my heart is gonna be pounding. My heart is gonna be racing. I know, but I think I can take it. So 1-1 both legs, and we win it in PKs.
Okay.
Over there, I think we do have a goal from Gignac.
Okay. Let's go through the bottom row. So we'll go AJ next, and then I don't know though, Edgar, if you're still there, and then Lou, and then me.
I'll go home 2-1, and then away. Away, I see it being 0-0 for some reason. I see a 0-0
Oh, wow. Okay.
0-0 game at away, but we win at home.
Okay.
I am going 2-1 at home. 1-2 on the road.
Okay. Edgar, are you there? I'll take that as a no. Lou.
I'm going 2-0 at home because I need Nahuel to have a clean sheet and surpassed Marin as the keeper with most clean sheets in finals. I need him to do it.
I like that.
I just absolutely need it. So I need a 2-0. I need the boys to come through for him. And then I'm going to go 2-2 on the road.
Okay. Give me 2-0 on Thursday. And honestly, I think Sunday's going to be chaos. 3-3. So we edge it out on aggregate, but it's going to be a goal fest. It just has that vibe. It's going to be like how it was earlier in the season when we played them in Jornada Dos.
Yeah.
Drieger saying 3-1 home win, 2-1 loss on the road. So we edge it out 4-3 on aggregate. Okay. The most important / influential player of the series for Tigres is going to be who? Out of all the guys, Gignac, Correa, Bru,
Angel
Romulo.
Correa.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the difference maker. I think he not only what he does offensively, distribute the ball, get everybody involved, his movement, but I think he's going to come through with scoring. That's one thing he's lacked this Liguilla. He's missed a few sitters. He missed a few in front of goal. I think he's going to come through for us, and I think he'll be the MVP.
Drieger agrees with you. Very nice. You guys on the bottom row. Okay, Correa as well.
Yes. I would say it has to be Correa, dude, just because of the moment, the season that he's had, the goals, the assists, the spark, the energy of everything that's occurred throughout these matches, and just cementing himself as the best signing, a guy in his prime, World Cup aspirations, and a surrounding cast, right? Like, we've now seen what Brunetta can do as not having to be the best player on the team like he had been the last 2 seasons. So I think that having and sharing that responsibility offensively, in its own way, not obviously identical, but what Lucas Lobos and Damian Alvarez and Dani Lino, and having that, that standout player who Lucas Lobos was in its own capacity, and a surrounding cast of offensive weapons that, took you a little bit over the barrier of having a working offense, even without having like a quote unquote starting striker.
Okay, AJ.
I was gonna agree with Drieger about Romulo. I
Ooh,
think he's the engine to the midfield. If you have him in he's the engine. So he can be the difference maker for us.
Best center defensive mid in the league is Romulo Suarez, and I'll stand on that. I'm going to say Bru, because I know Correa is going to show up. He's a big game player. He's always been a big game player. I think about his Champions League performances over the years, even when he's coming on as a substitute, and he's provided big moments. Bru has had good moments this playoff run, but I think for him to truly cement his status as like a real Tigres like legend or like a real historical Tigres player, like this is the series where he makes his mark and provides something. Because he has
like that.
he has moments where, like, you know, mentally he's not all the way there, or he fades out of games, or he's invisible and he doesn't provide as much. Obviously, a lot of that to me depends on the balance of the team, right? Like if Romulo's still in midfield and Brunetta's not having to play as deep, that will allow him to thrive and have those moments. If he is a little bit deeper, like he was at earlier points of the season, it'll be harder for him to do that. I just think when he's advanced, when he's up in the final third, he's such a better player. He's way more influential. The runs that he gets in, like I'm thinking about the run that he had, like leading up to the goal that he scored. You know, like when he's able to do that and not have to be further back, like towards midfield, it's just better for him. He just creates more havoc that way. So to me, I know that, like I said, I know Correa is going to show up. I know Romulo is going to show up there. I have no evidence to think otherwise. I know Nahuel's going to do what he can do and do his best. Guignac is going to provide a lot of leadership. There's a lot of certainties within the team. Brunetta, unfortunately, throughout the years, has not always been a true certainty in big games, but I think he has to be in order for this team to lift the championship on Sunday. And I think he will. I think he's in a really good moment right now, probably in his best moment as a Tigres player. So that's where I'm at. Any other thoughts on the final?
Well, I just want to add, guys, I'm going to be there in both games.
Crazy.
I'm going to be there on Thursday. Maybe Arnoldo will join. Maybe he won't. Who knows? But, you know, we'll be there. Hopefully we can, as a fan base, be that same energy that we have been throughout this run and throughout the last few games of the season, and that we can give the team that push that they need, to go on the road and get that chip. And I will be traveling. With a group of fan base that's going down there. Got our tickets already. Quite expensive. But we'll be there. Obviously, it's not easy. I was talking to a friend, about going to the game, to a final away. It's not easy because both of us we've been to league finals of Tigres and lost, and it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling at all. But I believe in this team. I believe that this is one of those runs that is scripted. It's like that documentary. It's just something that you can feel it. It's in the Tigres vibes. It's in the Tigres essence to come out like this, like a phoenix, and rise out of the ashes. Because honestly, that's where we were at 6 months ago, or that's where we were at a year ago. And nobody believed in us. Nobody believed in Pizarro, taking the lead of this team. We're here. We're in the final, about to show up. So I trust that the team will take the championship home, and I want to see live Guignac lifting the trophy. I think it's going to be very special. The last time that I went to Mexico was quite a few years back, the Cruz Azul game. But you just, I mean, with the opportunity to go, I couldn't pass it up.
Yeah, I don't blame you one bit. And speaking of Guido, I want to make this point too. What a plus it is for your rookie head coach to have played such a long career within this club and to have provided so much in those championship runs, specifically the last one where he literally won us the 2023 title with his game-winning goal in leg 2 at Chivas. What an advantage that is to have when you think, oh, like, he hasn't been coaching that much, he's going to get outclassed, like all this stuff. Like, he knows what it's like to play in a final for Tigres multiple times and knows what it takes mentality-wise to get across the finish line. I think that's such a big plus to have even though he is only 9 months into the job. Edgar, you're back. Give us your prediction for both legs of this final, your goal scorers, and then tell us who do you think the most important player in this series is.
So, first leg, Tigres at home, 2-0 victory. On the road, 2-1.
Okay.
I think the most influential player for the series is going to be Nahuel. But the goals are coming from Correa.
Okay.
At least at home.
Okay. Great answer. Lou, are you going to say something?
I was going to ask Alfred if he knows how many buses are going over there in total.
Ooh.
No, I don't know how many buses are going. Honestly, the barra, they're probably all going to show out, and that could easily be at least 5-6 buses of just barra members. The people I'm going with, auditors, they pretty much send families over, so it's not specifically the barra. And I know for a fact there's at least 2 buses that are going. So it's not a lot, but considering it's a small stadium, hard to get tickets. It's I think we're gonna be able to make a good showing and be loud.
Heck yeah, love that. All right, any other thoughts? Take that as a no. Okay, let's speed run through Amazonas and World Sevens. Edgar, talk us through that.
Alrighty, real quick, Amazonas World Sevens recap. Las Más Campeonas had a strong performance at the World 7 football tournament in Fort Lauderdale. They opened with an impressive 3-2 comeback win over AFC Toronto, highlighted by a hat trick from our beloved Bombi Sanchez. In their second group match, they drew 2-2 with Kansas City Current, but fell in penalties. However, their overall group performance was still enough to advance to the semifinals after beating Flamengo. There, Tigres defeated Club America 2-1 with a golden goal from Stephanie Mayor, securing a spot in the final. Their run ultimately ended with a 3-0 loss to the San Diego Wave FC, finishing the tournament as runners-up. Bombi Sanchez won both the Golden Boot and the Golden Ball.
Hey, I think that's a big win. Even though you don't win the tournament, that's such a success to me. You win $1 million from the prize pool, money that you can reinvest to make the team even stronger after just winning a championship. You got a ton of exposure worldwide. I mean, this tournament was on DAZN, it was on TNT. The TNT crew loved us. Like, that crew spoke really highly of our players. I know there was a lot of love for Maria Sanchez because of NWSL connections and some of the U.S. national team girls and U.S. soccer people knowing who Maria Sanchez is. But overall, I think there's a lot to like about how that went down. They had a ton of fun. Had some great moments of play here and there. Obviously, some moments where I could have done better, but overall, that is a great success of an appearance at that tournament in Florida. Any other thoughts?
Expectations were low going in. I said the only thing I want out of it was that none of our players got hurt. But honestly, I think they did way better than I expected them to. Given the group that we were in, I thought it was a pretty tough group. Flamengo's no pushover, and obviously KC has a ton of talent. So really proud that we were able to advance. And then I think the cherry on top for me was beating America Femenil, bro. I mean, it's just like, they wanted to get us, right? At least get a jab in on us. And to not get that in, I was like, oh man, that's gotta like add a lot more salt to those wounds, bro. I mean, they were just like, so to me that was the cherry on top. Obviously, taking the meal home is great because maybe we'll use that towards the signing. And honestly, it was a really good showing because we were missing Diana Ordóñez, we were missing Tembi, we were missing Anika, we were missing who's the other? Oh, Farmer.
Hermoso.
Yeah, Hermoso and Farmer. So to have that many missing pieces and to still be there to battle in the final, I thought, man, that was a good showing. And it kind of goes to show that we're not as far away as we think. I think this team is really competitive, at least on this side of the Atlantic, where I think we could pretty much compete with any team. And to be able to maybe fill some of those foreign spots next season, I think this team's is only going to get much better.
The girls just went to have fun and brought home a millie.
Yeah, you literally.
Exactly. And we already have the confirmation of one
Marisa?
reinforcement coming in. Yep. She even just
Marisa.
said in her press conference that she's leaving Brazil and joining us. So I'm sure that was already accounted for before the million came in, but great to know nonetheless. Edgar, AJ, Arnoldo, anything you guys like to add about World Sevens?
I think looking forward to what type of signing we make with that Millie. Love the presence of just the exposure of something just different, a more, fun aspect of the game. And, I think, not sure if it's gotten implemented on the men's side, but, I don't know if it ever will, and to see big time players. But on the women's side, it was very fun to watch. We saw some really good goals, brand exposure, coming out of a championship, cementing yourself as the runner of that league, beating America once again in that match. Bombi being the first player to go from Mexico to the NWSL, having that background and that exposure through that, what you mentioned, and just the presence that people showed out to her and the love that they showed to her. Just open up potential new signings and more success being invited to the Amazonas.
And she had some wicked goals, man. That one she had in her hat trick on Friday night.
Yeah, the last one.
Yeah. Oh my word. Just insane. Like you said in the chat, Lou, she's meant for this small like street ball type vibe.
Yeah, you could tell she played with the boys in the streets. Like she's got that flair to her. Knows when to dribble and then shoot quickly. She understands that aspect. I think you could tell some of our players had never been in situations like that because it took them several games to get acclimated, whereas she was like firing on all cylinders right off the bat.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, overall, that's such a success, even if you fell a game short. And you played a really good San Diego team who took that tournament real seriously. KC kind of didn't, because if I remember the broadcast correctly, they brought a lot of their like reserves like to that. So to even make that final and to put a decent showing against, KC's like or not KC's, San Diego's like actual squad. Like I said, that's such a success to me. Anything else? Were we good? Good. Okay. Okay, 2 more things and then we'll be done because we're approaching on 2 hours. We do have our opponent for the first round of the 2026 CONCACAF Champions Cup. The draw happened just a few short hours ago, and we will be playing Forge FC in the first round come February. They're a team in the Canadian Premiership. The first leg will be up there. Second leg will be back in Monterrey. Nos vamos a congelar, but that's okay. That's how it's going to be. I will say, though, the potential path for Tigres to go on a run will probably include the likes of a rematch with Cincinnati in the round of 16 or round of 32, whatever the next round is after that. Likely Vancouver Whitecaps or Seattle, Edgar's favorite MLS team, by the way, in the next round, in the quarterfinal. And then a variation of Miami, Club America, Nashville, somebody else in that corner of the bracket, in the semifinal.
Olimpia,
yeah, they're always a tough team. And then on the other side of the bracket, Toluca's over there, Rayados is over there, Cruz Azul, Pumas, probably
LAFC.
LAFC, probably on the easier side of the bracket. I think it's a pretty fair bracket, to be honest. Like it's spread out, I feel like, a lot more evenly than last year or 2 years ago. but I think we might be in the toughest corner of the bracket with Whitecaps having such an incredible season this year, Seattle always being a thorn in our side, Cincy playing us decently, this past year.
Which since he wants the rematch, bro, they're
Yeah.
already on Twitter hitting me up saying,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Our friends from the Cincy Talk Spot or whatever the name is, I can't remember off the top of my head. I know that they want that rematch back. I mean, you're starting off in a tough situation because you're gonna have to go play in the cold in February. But in theory, that should be a fairly easy matchup in the first round, and then we'll see what happens after that. But I don't know. You guys have any thoughts on the draw? I feel like we got a good path to a potential run here.
Yeah, it'll be exciting.
I think it's a tournament that we need to beef up for. We got to add pieces this offseason. I don't know what the Directiva is up to or what the front office would decide, but we left a foreign spot hanging this season. You got to absolutely fill it for next season. I think we got to get a big time player to accompany Correa. And then now you're truly in contention after that.
Yeah. Anything else? Nope. Okay. And last but not least, from the vault, Edgar, please explain.
Real quick, so our From the Vault moment for this episode is the Clausura 2023 quarterfinals where Tigres faced Toluca. Tigres won the first leg 4-1, had a crisis, and lost the second leg 1-3, but still advanced 5-4 on aggregate.
Had a crisis is crazy. As I mentioned before we click record, all I think about from that game is there's a picture of Cordova and Diente Lopez, I think celebrating a goal at Toluca Stadium in the second leg. That's all I remember from that series. I remember nothing about what happened besides that picture existing. So hopefully we're not in that situation again where we have a really bad loss in the second leg and stress ourselves out into clinching. But yeah, that was an interesting time. The start of the run though, back 2 years ago. So any other additional from the vault moments? Any other Toluca related moments that any of you old heads want to spew out for us? No?
I already gave mine earlier, talking about how our whole generational run started against Toluca with that Damian goal that took us to the Libertadores. That to me, that rather than thinking about any negative loss or any negative encounters with Toluca, that's the mindset. That's who we need to be. That team back then that started it all.
Absolutely. Any last words?
Nope. Great episode, guys. Let's get that 9th.
For the 9th, baby. Thank you to everybody joining us, who has joined us live, who's joining us on podcast. Thank you everybody for listening to us basically all season. I do want to end with our Spotify rap numbers real quick that I sent to the group last week, and I'll share them with the public here. Real quick, we had a 22% increase in followers this year. We had a 22% growth in total audience, a 450% growth in total new audience, which is pretty great. We have 7 top fans. Winter is coming. Thank you, Threedger. Our listeners like to listen to Bad Bunny. That's the top artist. And then our fans' top audiobook was Una Patria con Madre, which I thought was hilarious. I'm not joking. That's what it is here. But we had a lot of growth this year. So thank you for everybody who's been tuning in and supporting and sharing and all the things. I think it's fair to say that we've experienced quite a bit of growth ever since we shifted to this model of live streaming and recording and having this out on Twitter and YouTube. Not that we were having success previously when we were back doing it on Zoom with a 40-minute time limit back in the day.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know though, but
I miss those days, Arnoldo.
The difference maker has been the producer, guys. That's it. The host and the
no
producer.
manches.
That
Still.
and all of AJ's Diaz, bro. We picked up a lot of audience from that too.
That's true.
That's
It's
crazy.
funny. I got inspired, through things that got discussed in that chat that we have, and I called Dennis and we discussed a few more things, and offline, hopefully we can discuss further, what next year entails. I think that we have a very solid foundation of a podcast here, and even though I haven't been as participative recently, and even I know Alfred feels the same way since we discussed it offline. But I think that you guys have done a great job to keep it going, and I'm looking forward with connecting more people online and continue to be a space here to provide, just a conversation, a weekly conversation, and more content to be released. I can't wait till we create a coach's corner for Lou and break down more beyond the game, and having obviously the model that we currently have and continue to expand it, and using our social media presence. I think that's a big target that him and I discussed, and so I'm looking forward to it, guys. I think that it's an excellent way to end the year with the championship. We went through a lot of up and downs the last 2 seasons. But just like we love the Tigres way, it's like we're there. We're going to suffer a little bit, and we're going to keep on trucking forward.
That's right. All I'm saying is, for the rest of the week, everybody needs to have this energy.
Bro, stop showing me.
That's all I'm saying. Everybody needs to have
You're a
that
meme.
energy from now till Sunday. Anywho,
Are we gonna go live Sunday night if we're lifting the cup there,
Hey.
Dennis?
Yeah.
hey, if we
Bro,
lift the
I
cup,
am-
for sure. For
I'm
sure.
going to be toasty.
Bro, ahí van a estar. Bro, este güey va a estar bien jarras, pero ni modo. Ahí va a estar ahí. It's gonna be crazy.
Hey,
So-
I'll forget a little taste, but I'm pretty calm.
Y'all gonna have the menudo ready?
¡Pa crudo!
No.
I asked him on Sunday night, how he was doing. It was like 3 p.m. He's like, I'm going through it.
I was on a struggle bus.
Oh, man. Yeah, Edgar, I'm working. I'm so stupid that I have to work during the first half of the game on Sunday. But I'll hit you up because if we're gonna win this thing, I need to be with somebody. Because the last time we won, I was driving back as we were winning the championship, so I don't want to be in that situation again, and I need to be sharing the moment with a friend. So
Absolutely.
DFW voice will connect for sure. Anywho, I hope everybody gets the chance to enjoy this week. Threaker, if y'all need someone sober to join in, I'm in. That see, you get it.
We're gonna take them up on it.
You get it. You get it. I hope everybody gets a chance to watch the 2 games this week with people you love and family and friends and fellow supporters wherever you're at. Like I said, the games are going to be everywhere this week. TUDN, Estrella, Fox Deportes, Televisa, like all the things. Like there will be plenty. I wonder if CBS Sports will have it in English. I bet you they have the second leg because they did show the second leg of the Toluca series last week. So I would not be surprised if they show it in English there. So even an English language option for those of you who are only English speakers. So yeah, it's gonna be a great week. We will record. If we win on Sunday, we'll go crazy. If we don't, we'll come back next week depressed. But hopefully we are not in that situation. I think Fox Sports in English. Ooh, okay. Man, there's gonna be so many places to watch this game. Anyway, all that to say, thanks for joining us. We appreciate y'all's support. If you're not following us, Lautimes, or any of us individually on the socials, you can look at the screen if you're watching the video right now, or you can look at the show notes, show description, all the things to check out the handles and links and all the different things that you need to go check out. Click subscribe on Apple Pods and Spotify and YouTube and all the things if you haven't already. Follow us, share our content. Let us know if you want to join the pod. We always say this, but I'll say it again. If you ever want to be a part, want to get an interview in with us, like please let us know. Shameless plug. I started a TikTok talking about footy called Dennis Footy Chats. That Aronaldo is probably my #1 fan of based on our phone conversation from earlier. So if you want to follow that, go for it, I guess. But yeah, it's gonna be a great week. And yeah, really looking forward to it. We'll come back next week. For sure. Probably Sunday night though, if we end up winning this thing. And hopefully celebrate the year the right way. So
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad, that's right. For the 9th, baby. Arriba la U, thank you guys for being here. We appreciate y'all. Until next time, have a great week. Enjoy your watch parties on Thursday and Sunday. And to all you 5 fellas here, thanks for joining me. Adios.
La última y nos vamos. La última y nos vamos, gordo.
Exactly.